have students from interstate. Like it was a mixed class, I'd say. So it was really great. Like there was this dude who was doing his introduction. Ma'am was like, "You are from Kashmir, right? Can you show us your place?" So he was like doing a whole virtual tour, showing his place. So it was really great to have such introduction. I mean, you can have fun in online too. That's when I realized that thing. And then talking about my class coordinator, like even though when it if it's online also, before starting every class, she would just ask us like, "Are you all doing great? Or do you have any concession and all that?" Like she would make sure all this, and then only she would start her classes. So like it was really great to have such a professor too. And then how classes started was how we started interacting through online was when ma'am said we have to select our CR, class representative. You know how we do this leadership campaign, but online, you just type in WhatsApp messages, you put Instagram stories. Yeah, that's how we did it. Okay. Like in school, we just go on stage, but this is our stage. Social media is our platform here. And online voting and all of that. And in the end, we selected two representatives. And that was another experience. And one time when we did something was when our department was given, when our department fest was going on, they said, "Okay, so you are first years, you have to do a book talk." And we all were like super new to this, but someone randomly put my name in it. I don't know how I got into it, but and I'm like, okay, fine, I'll just do some initiative. And I just gave it a try. It was like my first online event. Then I learned that, okay, you can do events online too. You can do it too. So we were experimenting everything online. That's what our batch mainly did. And then we were getting orientations from different organizations in Christ, like CABS, SW, and all that. Like there are many platforms open for you. Just you have to find what you want, or maybe like get into them and discover yourself. That's what I learned. And there were many orientation we were getting. And one cool part we mostly this itself, I mean, social media has played a main role. Like you just go to their Instagram pages, find out what their events are and share about it and know more about them. So everyone just be like, you can check out our page, so here and there. So you get to know them through social media. Like since we weren't on campus, that's how we got to know them. And one other major thing is technology. Like literally at the present, I can type with my eyes closed. I just have to get my hands on the keyboard and I can close and type. I became that fast in typing just because of this 1 year training, I'd say. Like in the beginning, I was like, how am I going to do this? All these assignments, oh my God, asynchronous. It was like that. But now it's like I can't live a day without Microsoft Teams or Google Classroom. They're like our best friends now. Like perks of having online classes, I'd say. And but I mean, at times I feel, why do I have assignments every day? And then I thought, okay, if I have assignment, that means I have to read, I have to refer, that means I'm being productive, right? I'm doing something every day. So that I'm not sad, that I don't have to regret about the fact that I'm not doing anything every day. I'm doing something every day. Even though like college is making me do it, I'm still doing it. I mean, we all are scared about deadlines, but at the same time we do them. And I feel like that's a great thing. And but when talking about technology also, I've had some not so good experience with the technology too. Like I remember my first presentation. It's like my slides were changing very nicely, and so I was like, Aisha, your slides are changing, but we can't hear you. Then I realized for past 5 minutes I was talking with my mic off, and and everyone was calling me in WhatsApp, and I was wondering why is everyone calling me? I'm nicely doing my presentation here. So I like put my phone in silent mode and I kept it. And then I realized, okay, I wasn't talking this whole time. So I was like, okay, sir, okay, nice. I mean, it was my first presentation. And I was very excited too, but this happened. But then again, I did it again. It went well. And also talking about seniors, like even though we were in on campus, we were treated like we were just like them. Like we had meetings with our seniors, like, and even with the student council, like they would come to us like, do you have anything, or do you have any problem with the professors, or anything you want to talk about? We had such meetings, and I felt like, okay, that's great. Like we can't see them, meet them or anything because we are not on campus, but they took out time from their classes and they arranged meetings with us just to know about us and how it was all going to start. Because we were like the first batch who were online, right? I mean, online inauguration, online fest, like all this Darpan and all that fest. Like I could, even though I was watching it online in YouTube, it was really good. I really feel like I wish I was on campus. But at the same time, so just to get that vibe, I watched it with my whole family here. Like, okay, this is how it's going, even though it's online, and we did enjoy it. And one another thing what I also learned was I acquired many skills even though it was online, I'd say. And team building, one thing I would like to take out, like for every assignments our teacher would assign us to different groups, right? I mean, in the beginning I was like, okay, I don't know these people. How am I even gonna work with them? So I was like, how do you work online? Then we just have Google Meet and you just talk to them, and it just goes on like that. And now it's like you have a group of chalo, we'll do it. It's so simple like that. But in the beginning, it was literally like, how can I say hi to this person? Will they think something? Okay, then I'm like, okay, they're in my same class. So everyone had the same thing. How do I talk to them? We had that trouble in the beginning, but later it was cool. And also like since I'm doing English honors, we have pretty much to read and all that. So in the beginning, and we also have research, like it's like a part of our subject. So in the beginning it's like, okay, research, how do I just do this? Or reading was like I just came very plainly, but now it's like if you give me an essay, I would just look for central argument in that essay. Where is the sub argument? What is the author trying to say? That's how like I just changed from one normal person, okay, reading an essay, okay, it's just an essay. But now it's like I have to find all these things. That's how like I trained my own self through this online platforms, I'd say. And even and after our first year, even we had to do internships. This was another obstacle for me. Like I was like, okay, internship, how do you do it online? And our teachers were like, just apply to every NGO you can. They just said us we should apply in NGO and just go for it. And I'm just like, NGO you apply? Okay, fine. Okay, I just took out every mail IDs and we sent them. And I think for some good amount of time I was sitting jobless because I did not get much responses. I was at the verge of giving up, and it was one fine day one NGO replied to me. They're like, "Yes, Aisha, we like your resume," and they took an interview with me. And wow, I did an online internship too. I could like write a lot of things that I did through online, all this, and I completed that internship also. It was great. And talking about exams, oh my god, online exams. Just coming from writing pen and paper exams to logging in time in metal platforms, submission papers, Viva. I remember my second semester Viva. I haven't been this tense for my own board exams. Like, how will it be? And also, you have to check your connection. Like, will my camera go off in between? Will my Wi-Fi have some problem? This were my some tension. But okay, after first Viva, it was all great. And yeah, this whole time I was talking about online classes, right? But never lose hope. Just keep your fingers crossed. Because one fine day, our vice chancellor came online and he said, campus is reopening. Like, wow. And I was literally jumping with that email, like showing to my parents, I am flying to India. I am leaving this country and I'm going to my college. Because by the time all the friends I had here, since I'm outside India, here it wasn't that strict as India. So here colleges were open. So everyone would just send me their college pictures and all that, and they're like, Aisha, you're in Bangalore. You haven't been to college yet. I'm like, yeah, I'll go someday. I'll go someday. And finally, I had an answer. I was sending it to my friends to see my campus is opening. And let's just ignore the fact that I went to campus only for 30 days, but it was like 30 years for me. Okay, that's how it was for me. And all the teachers, they're like, students, even though removing mask is not allowed, can we see you for like 10 seconds? So 10 seconds, everyone would just remove their mask and we would like interact. And every professors were like so happy to see us on campus. That was like the coolest part. I mean, it's true that campus was in that chaotic and too many students were not there. I mean, we had restrictions, but I really feel like it was the best. I mean, surviving this whole through online and then going on campus, it was great. And then it was like cases increase and I had to fly back. But 1 year, it was the best. And wow. And as our voice sounds like he says, I mean, our main motto or tagline is crisis may come, crisis may go, but Christites will march on forever. That's no, literally that's one thing that we all keep going. I mean, no matter what comes in your way, we will just keep moving. That's what I feel like. I mean, when we get some assignments or something, we feel like we can't do it. It's online. How are we even going to do this assignment? We have to create a video and we have to keep a voiceover for this. How are we going to do it? Everyone is like, come on, we can't do it. Didn't we do all these assignments? Come on, we can do this one too. And that's how it was. That was my first year. Wow. And then it wasn't just college. I also had another family. That was when I joined PKCL, Praveen Kenneth Chair on Leadership. Let me tell you, how I joined was first I would just sit in meeting, I would listen to everyone. Okay, so everyone is talking here. So it's like, okay, I should also talk. Okay, I just started talking. I mean, everyone is talking, so I'm also supposed to unmute my mic and speak. And then I realized that you don't have to simply fake things or just say what's in the Google or something. Talk from your life, from your experience. Share what is within you. Like if you're talking about habits, you don't have to simply say what good habits you're having in your life. Also talk about your bad habits. We can improve them. That's how it was. And I was just a member. Then I was a participant in every meeting. Then I conducted a meeting. Then, I mean, there's also one thing about PKCL. There's one thing to learn from every member in PKCL. I don't want to take out names because there's too many things I learned from everyone here. But there's a lot to learn from everyone. And also it's like if one person is not there in the meeting, I can actually feel their absence. One example I say like if Sudhagar Bhaiya is not there in the meeting, I can actually feel it. Be it anyone or be it Manish or Sahiti or anyone, if you are not there, I can just feel their absence. That's how it has become a family. So it's like after all the assignments and all the chaotic things, I just come back and I get to relax in PKCL. Sit in the meeting and just talk. That's how it is. And there's also great, cool things I did in PKCL. I'll just quickly mention them. I don't want to take too much time. It's like first just conducted meetings and then and then one fine day, I was like, we have MBA student facilitation. You're gonna be trainers. I'm like, trainers? What I mean, I'm in my first year. How trainers? I'm just 18. How am I gonna train MBA people? Sir, the team was like, we're just going do it. You're in your team. Just start working. Your topic is so and so. And then we just have mock sessions and wow. It just happened. We did MBA training. I am still not out of it. I did it. And then we conducted orientation. Like it was my first time for the whole Christ psychology department. I did an orientation. I still don't believe it. I really have to write all this in my journal because that's something I never thought I would do in my life and something I did after coming to PKCL. And it's not like, are you going to do it or not? No, just go there and do it and then come back and tell us how it went for you. You are given the opportunity, take it and make the most out of it. If you weren't able to show up yourself, it's okay. You're going to learn from it anyways. And after every sessions, it's like I'll have some key takeaways. I don't just go back bare hands. And one thing I like is after our every session, we have glow and grows. I mean, mostly how I have seen is how did the session go? So everyone would say positive things. You can also say what improvements they can make, That's where glow and grow point. So there are such many cool things I like about PKCL and many things which I never thought I would do in my life, but I did them. I don't know, I mean, and since I'm doing my degree, it's just 3 years. I'm sorry for this. Yeah, it's my 3 years. I mean, it'll just get over. I mean, even this 3 years, within a blink of eye, it'll all just finish. So just make most use of it. Every moment, there is something to learn from everything and every day, be it PKC or be it college or anything, or be it just life itself, but just make the best of it. And there's actually cool people. You can make company, you have to just get out of your comfort zone, which I realized, which is another one thing I realized from PKCL. If I just sit there, it's like if you rest, you will rust. I mean, if you rest, REST, you will rust, RUST. I mean, forgive my pronunciation. Okay. So that's something I like. I just got that in my mind just now. Like, if I just keep resting there, nothing's going to happen. So I'll have to do something. And I'm almost there. My third year is almost here. I feel like my second year is getting over. I have to do something. So be it online or offline, wherever you go, just do it. I mean, like our call, we are getting a lot of opportunities. I mean, even though it's online, I don't feel alienated or anything. We have every kind of session, just how we're treated, just how it's offline. Just that it's like you have to join meeting link, otherwise you have to go to auditorium or seminar hall. That's the only difference. The rest, it's the same. You have everything. So just make use of every single moment you have in life, and later you can think and smile about it. Like how I just reminded my first year, I can only smile. I'm not gonna cry. Because that's how it was. Even though there were sad moments, or even though there were moments like I felt like I'm just not gonna do. I want to quit college, but no. There are many times I felt like, okay, I'll just give this up. I don't want to do it. But you have to get up, you know. As this is that won't be worth it. I mean, you are giving your time. 1 year, if it just passes on, it will be of no use. So do the best out of it. Do the best out of everything.
Thank you so much, Aisha. You know, when you were telling your story, it was like even I am living my first year all over again from day one interview to right now where I am in PKCL. It was so wonderful to listen to you. And yeah, even we did experience so many new things through online, and PKCL was one of them. So, yes, thank you so much, Aisha. It was lovely listening to you. Okay, so guys, now we have our second speaker for the day. That is our very famous, what you can tell, very famous person in PKCN, a person who loves to speak, a person who is wholehearted. If you give him just spontaneously to speak, and he will speak. We have our final year student, Shashwat. Over to you, Shashwat.
Thank you guys for the wonderful introduction. Can you guys hear me? Hopefully. Okay, so I love holding mics, those big mics that you have handle when you're on stage. But since I don't own a mic at home, I have improvisations. So I'm gonna be holding this. Okay. So unlike Aisha, I have spent 1 year in college. One first year in college. Like, it's a let me give you some context. So the title of this webinar is Flex and Fix, right? So Aisha was talking about the fix part. Let me give you a little bit on the flex part. And by flex, I mean I am going to flex about the things that I did in my first year. Just for a brief moment, I won't make everybody feel really, really bad. Just for a little. So let me show you one thing. So this is my Christ ID card, and look at this face. And then look at my face right now. Must be like a major difference, right? Like that's what I think. I've changed my hairstyle. I have a beard now. I've grown. I've lost a lot of weight. Like this was McDonald's lover Shashwat. This is and this one is a salad loving Shashwat. Very, very much different. Anyway, so when that ID card version of Shashwat entered Christ, entered as in literally entered, I went into the campus for 1 year. Let me remind you of that sober fact yet once again. Huh. So when I entered that campus, I was a very timid person. I was someone who would mind their own business, not take any initiative of any kind, just sit there in one corner, and their only best friend being music. That was the only thing that I would do all day, listen to music. And if a teacher was there, that's the only time I would take off my headphones. Otherwise, they would be on all the time, because if you put headphones on in class when you're there physically, those headphones will be thrown out of the class along with you in them. So never mind. So this timid person was very, very shy, very quiet, not a very interactive person in any way, shape, or form. Okay. And for another bit of context, if you're there in Christ while in campus, there are a lot of activities happening in Christ simultaneously every single day, all day, so many that you can't even keep up. Way too many activities. And now put this timid person there. While all of my classmates are doing a new thing every day, they are, skipping class for practice and everything. This Ashwath is sitting in class listening to music, and while at the same time not getting good grades. So it's like the worst of both worlds. Not even good grades and not enjoying life as well. Just because this person is stupid and shy. That was the only reason I was not doing anything. Okay. But life goes on, right? So coming as I got a little more comfortable with Christ, I started stepping out. I started talking to other people. I participated in theater, things like that. Like I got the courage to have a direct eye to eye with the judge of a street play competition and scream like this in front of their face. Like since I was not the best actor, okay. So the positioning was made in such a way that I would not be directly in front of the judges. But I don't know what happened when all of us came out of this one certain position. I was standing directly in front of the judges' bench. Up, if you're standing there, you can't let your team down, right? That's what teamwork is. You don't let your team down. So I plucked out the courage and I screamed my heart out, giving like a direct eye contact to one of the main judges. And like, yeah, I'm here. Listen to my deep manly voice, even though it's not deep and manly. I did it. Life was fun. We won. Things were great. Everything was nice. And throwback to March 15, 2020. I have a psychology exam on March 16th. Okay. And I'm losing my mind. I suck at psychology. Okay. Like, I don't think I've told you what my course is. I'm really sorry. So, I'm currently pursuing a bachelor's degree in communications in media, English, and psychology, CEP. So, I love C, I love E, but when it comes to P, I do another action that rhymes with P. So I was really tense about this exam, okay? And we were hearing about this, COVID-19 scene going on the news, and we were like praying exams cancel, exams cancel, exams cancel. We were like, not cancel, at least give us a couple of more days because I have an exam for 24 hours and I still don't know where all the resource materials are. I'm looking for them in my really trash laptop. Like at that point, I had a really, really bad laptop. So, I'm sorry. Mic problems. And this is what happens when you have a real mic as well. Anyway, so I was in a bad state because of that exam. And luckily, our prime minister came on the news and told us everything is cancelled. The country is going into lockdown. You're having the time of your life. I get super excited. I got so excited. I bought a 350 rupees ka mask. 350. That's how excited I got. I was like, wow, this COVID is amazing. It gave me off exams and everything. And I packed my bags and I ran back home straight away. I live in Lucknow. That's the capital of Uttar Pradesh, which is roughly 4,000 kilometers away from Bangalore. So I ran back home. Everything was fine. I was like maybe a month or two, something like that. Well, my expectations were shattered in like a couple of weeks where I actually got to talk to a real genuine doctor. Like one of my relatives is like a proper virologist. So they straight up told me, bro, you're not going back in a month. Be ready for lockdown, proper lockdown. So I already knew Dhina Dhindha is already happening. So I got to work. I started, looking out for stuff. I gave those nonsense online exams, got average marks, and entered second year. Officially a senior now, with next to no experience of being a senior. And then one day, there's this PKCL webinar, very similar to this, was happening around 1 year ago. The webinar was titled Harsh Reality. Okay, the Harsh Reality webinar. Sounds harsh, doesn't it? So since I was this timid fellow, the moment I stepped into lockdown, I decided, okay, I think it's time for me to change myself. I think it's time I need to get out, speak to people, like not literally get out, please don't go out. I mean, express myself more fully, talk to more people, engage in more activities. So I attended this webinar, and the webinar was pretty average. All offense intended to everyone who was present in that webinar was pretty average. So I joined PKCL because of that webinar. Like I thought, maybe this could be my new start. That's what I thought. I joined PKCL thinking that this could be my new start. I got there 1 month later, and since I'm a professional quitter, there's this term that I have coined for myself. I'm a professional quitter. I take stuff on and then I drop it immediately. 1 month later, I was in the quitting stage for PKCL as well, 1 month in. Even though I've not done anything, like I was just there, I was having a good time, I was talking to people. But again, since I'm a professional quitter, I need to leave stuff. And that's what I did. I started ghosting everybody. And a lot of nonsense happened because of that. I see Sam sir is nodding a little bit. He knows this happened. Yeah. So Sam sir actually called me. He asked me, Shashwat, where are you? What is happening? So I told him this, sir, I'm sick and I'm not doing well. Actually, everything was fine. I was lying. I was straight up lying, but I told him I'm sick and everything is fine. But he gave me some sense, he told me, Shashwat, you've begun something, and you've joined something known as PKCL, the L standing for leadership. So I don't think it's very leader-like of you to quit after 1 month. That's his words, quoting Sam sir. It's not very leader-like of you to quit after 1 month. So I'm like, fine. I joined another meeting 1 month after. And luckily, the people here are actually very nice. I was expecting a scolding or a rapport or something of that sort. And like, I can't get hit physically, but I was expecting a scolding or a very explosive voice note. But nothing of that sort happened. Instead, I was like, you have problems? Let's deal with it. So we handled all of my problems. Like, I also had very minute anxiety and things like that. But as I was that me? Okay. So because of minute anxiety, like I'm not diagnosed with with anxiety, but it was just random nervousness from everyday life events. But as I started working more actively with PKCL, I kind of got rid of this anxiety nonsense. And not nonsense, it's a diagnosed term. Just for me, I think it's nonsense for me because I was not diagnosed with it. I just thought I had anxiety. That's what I thought I had anxiety, but I didn't. So being the leader in PKCL, I kind of continued working. I did new stuff, and from people from Aisha's batch joined from another webinar that happened around 7 to 8 months ago, and I was a speaker on that webinar as well. Like that was the official moment from where I was like, "Yo, I've arrived." Like like if there was a door, I would kick it, and then somebody would shoot a gun behind me, and I'll be like, "Yeah, I'm here. Deal with it." So that was my moment. And ever since then, life has been good. Not good, honestly. Like, I hate online classes. Let me be very honest. I hate online classes. And campus life was way, way, way 20 times better. Like, I was studying also. Now, online classes have given me the benefit of sleeping, eating, and getting free attendance at the same time. Please do not tell that to my professors. Nobody, please don't do that. Just telling it out right now. Please don't do that. Yeah, so that's like the only benefit I see of online classes. I hate everything else about online classes. I wish I could go back straight away, but the way things are, I'm not expecting to go back until graduation. So I've already made up my mind. Okay, goodbye college life. I'll just go get my degree and go work until I die. That's my plan right now. Okay, so that's it. That's all I thought of. And I think I gave you guys a background as to what happens when you transition from actual face to face to camera to face. Things change. But before I go, uh, I wrote a little something. I don't know how to play this. So let me be honest. I don't know how to play this. Focus on the lyrics more. Okay. Let me be honest. Focus more on the lyrics. I genuinely don't know how to play this. Give me a moment. I need to change the setting from experience to back to music mode. Can you guys hear me clearly? Can you guys hear this? Okay. Let me bring it down. So don't focus on this. Focus on the lyrics before I go. So I stole this from a song, okay? Life sucks right now, but that's okay. This online classes are the worst with piling CIAs. Really bad, to be honest. But don't go crying in the dark about how much life has changed. Just keep moving and you'll be okay. Thank you. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to play this. I got it like 1 month ago. Thank you so much, guys.
Okay, give me a minute. I'll finish laughing and then come back to this. Okay, I'm fine. Give it all time, people. Okay, coming back to this.
Shashwat, we loved it. It was great, very well done, very well played also. We loved your positive outlook on COVID and we loved your outlook on life also. Even leadership actually. So it was great fun. And now, okay, sorry. I'm in a fit of laughter right now. Okay, we're fine. Okay, so now let's welcome our next speaker, which is our very own alumni, Mehak Jain. She was a part of PKCL. She still is a part of PKCL. She's just graduated in this month, and we all love her very dearly. And she's here to take over the stage today. Mehak, are you there?
Right here. I just do not trust my internet too much. So just let me know if you can see me and if you can hear me.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Hi. Okay.
Hello.
So first of all, I have absolutely no idea how I'm going to match what Shashwat and Aisha just did. But picking up from where Shashwat left, as he said, it's basically flex. And I've been here, I think I was on campus for 2 years. So my flex confidence might be a little bit. So just bear with me there. But I think a very warm welcome to all the first years. I think if you were on the campus, we would have had a huge hall, a lot of shouting, a lot of hooting, and smiling faces all around. But I'm sure you'll have it super soon, anyways. And to all the second and third years, I have missed you guys so much. I mean, I miss calling out Elmo on most of you, and well, mostly myself. But I think I'll just start with my mixed speech for the day. So it starts like this, okay? I chose an apple, he chose a banana. And at times it's as simple as that. Okay. So I'll start from the beginning, I think even before that. So in my life, I think I have had a really bad relationship with decision making. Right from the beginning, from choosing between butterscotch or chocolate, or bands or ribbons, or chess championships or dance competitions, to more serious things like commerce or arts, fashion designing or finance, or choosing my battles at home and school. And with all my hormones running here and there, I think it was super difficult. But, and you can never go shopping with me, by the way. If you ever go shopping with me, you lose it. Because I literally spent 30 hours in a store. And as I said, I've had a very difficult relationship with decision making. And that got translated into my college life as well. Because I stepped in, first week full of orientations. Every senior used to come in and literally say the exact same thing. But it was so much to take. There were so many clubs, so many things, this, that, and it was truly extremely overwhelming. And I was like, Mehek, you cannot decide. So just don't even try. And I literally signed up for everything that came my way. I literally didn't even understand half of it, but I was like, I'm just going to go ahead with it because I cannot decide. And 6 months later, I think I absolutely loved all of it. I knew so many people, I knew exactly how things worked out, and everything was just going the way it was supposed to go. But that was a bigger picture, and the story is never in the bigger picture. And what happened was that every time I signed up for something, I used to hesitate so much. Before every orientation, I used to tell myself, Mehek, please do not say something stupid, just sound smart, okay? Every time I used to meet a new person, I used to judge myself more than the other person used to judge me. And every time something of this sort used to happen, I used to lose it in my head. And I think that carried on for around 6 months. And I think what I'm just trying to say is that all of these things will happen. It will happen with you. You'll feel lonely 6 months into college because all of you are away from home. Not right now, but I'm hoping and I'm optimistic that you'll all return back into the normal. But trust me, somewhere or the other, you'll need to make those choices. I chose an apple, he chose a banana, but there are a lot of people who don't make choices at all. I know friends who said that 6 months later, I'll join this, I'll join that. Then they said probably next semester, the next semester, and then COVID hit us. And that just never happened. And they come up to me now and they tell me that, I wish there was somebody who told me this, that just go out there and make choices and do whatever you want to do. Because I do not care if you choose PKCL, CSE, SW, some departmental club or whatsoever. But just go out there and try out things. You'll be uncomfortable. You'll be a lot of things. But trust me, you'll be thankful at the end of the day. And trust me, if I tried out 100 things, I easily sucked at 70 of them. I thought that I was a good dancer until the time I realized that most of the people around me are trained dancers. I think I gave auditions after auditions. I literally embarrassed myself because I didn't make it through even single one of them. And by the end of it, I was like, Mehak, why didn't you even try? But I think a few months later, it somehow worked out and the team invited me. But then I didn't go through because I found my place in campus. And finding that place in campus, finding your clan, your people is so important. You might not realize it now, but having people outside of your class is extremely important. So, from the place that I come from, you're supposed to be pit pack perfect. And then I joined this theater club. Okay. And Shashwat would relate here. We had to go and scream in people's faces and do all sorts of things. And that literally, I think that was so new for me. And it was so exciting. And I did that for, I think, 1.5 years. And I absolutely loved each second of it. From morning 7 to evening 9, I think I gave it my all and I learned more from it than I learned from my life in the last 21 years. And that was the most enthralling experience. Coming to PKCL, I think it is very similar to what Shashwat said. I was at my home. Right after the pandemic hit us, there was nothing to do. Initially, I enjoyed every bit of it because no college, no exams. I was back with my family and I'm a family person. But then 2 months later, college didn't reopen. 4 months in, it didn't reopen. 6 months in, we are still there. And I'm a people's person. I was like, I don't know what to do now. Life is too dead for me. And that is when I think I joined the same webinar as Shashwat did. And as he said, it was average. I agree. But I think what I loved more was the session after that. People were talking, they were chill. Like all the orientations I had attended, they tell you about the organization, they tell you how things are, XYZ, and there's an entire formal thing. And here, literally, people were talking about, oh, did you see the last match that happened? Oh, how's college going on? This and that. And that flexibility, I think I love that. I had never experienced that informal environment anywhere else. I'm not trying to sell PKCL here because trust me, you'll find this at a lot of places around campus, but this is also one of those places, and this is a great place to start because faculties here, they'll never stop you from doing anything. They'll always be there. They'll be super chill. Literally, I'm using the term super chill because people are not like that anywhere else. And you'll love it here because people will be here to support you through no matter what. You'll fight, or you'll debate about things and everything, but they'll always have your back. And I think that is something that's important in college. And if you're one of those people who say that studying is more important, getting a job at the end of the day is more important, or getting your MBA is more important, trust me, as an alumni who has sat for multiple interviews for different companies, I can tell you, as much as they want to see what's on your mark sheet, they want to see what's beyond that. What are you doing as a person in college? The final interview round that I had with the place where I'm working at, I think that was a half-an-hour interview. And 20 minutes we spoke about the organization that I used to work for. And trust me, that is the reason why I got that job in the first place. So, guys, do amazing in classes, but go out, have fun, make friends who will stay with you even after college. Because once you're in the workplace, people are formal with you. No matter how much you try, there's always that boundary. And then every weekend, you need somebody to call to and be like, bro, this is not working out. I have such a dead life. You need somebody like that. You need friends at the end of the day. And this is the only place where you can gain such friends and have fun. There's so much to do in college. Just push yourself. And I can tell you right now, if there are 45 to 50 people in this room, everybody here has some or the other insecurity that's stopping them. Everybody has fears in place. Everybody has weaknesses. People here might be thinking, what if I accidentally turn on my camera or turn on my, that mute unmute button? People are judging themselves more than you're judging them. And I'm not saying that to demean people. I'm saying that to make you understand that everybody has their own share of difficulties in life. So do not judge yourself. Do not let anything hold yourself back. People are not judging you that much. And even if they are, this is your life. You need to move ahead. You need to try out stuff. And college is the only place where people will be upfront with you. No matter how many mistakes you make, it'll be fine. And it might seem like I'm preaching, but when you're at your workplace, things are much different, and you don't realize that while you're here. People don't come up to you and say that you're doing something wrong. They drop hints, and you should be smart enough to pick them up. And these are the things that you learn at college. So that's it from my side. And I really, really hope you have a blast, because Christ is an amazing place. I think even though my friends and I still crib about the place, but we love it to death. And I couldn't have met all the people that I met if it weren't for Christ. So that was me. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Meg. And as always, it is so lovely to listen to you, and we always get to learn so much from you. When I told Mehak about like the webinar, she's like, "What am I supposed to speak? What am I supposed to talk about?" And I just told her, "You don't need to think about anything. Just be Mehak and speak from your heart, from your experience, like you always do." And that's what she did. And we got to learn so much from you today as well. Thank you so much, Mehak. It was so lovely. So now we have Dr. Jyoti Kumar ma'am. Ma'am, it is all we are so delighted to have you, ma'am, and we are waiting to hear from you. Over to you, ma'am.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I thought I wanted more of all of you, and it was such a pleasure to listen to all of you. I'm really excited and genuinely pleased. I must say, I'm really, really happy. And after listening to all of you, I'm thinking it's worth my time. I'm so humbled. I'm really humbled by your invitation, and it's a real pleasure to address all young leaders. Thank you, Mr. Sam and Ms. Rashi. You're amazing. You're awesome. I always believe leaders multiply leaders, and that's what I see. And it's so soothing to hear all of you speak. And let me tell you, I wouldn't have done this in your age. Yeah, I'm sure, because things have changed so much, and the kind of confidence all of you have, I don't think you should hear me. I don't want to say listen, but there's nothing to hear from me because you are there already. Thank you so much for having me. I don't have a theme like some of you mentioned. I don't have a theme. I was asked to address all of you, so whatever comes to my mind is what I will tell you. And at any point in time you feel, oh, this is deaning, she is just another dean who wants to say something, raise your hand and say, stop it, and I will go back. Yeah. So there's nothing. I don't know. I was when Ms. Rashi called me after that, I was just thinking, why me? Then I said, okay, somebody should be there to talk to all young leaders and maybe nurture them or maybe show them some additional way. If you pick up something from what I say, I will be happy. But I'm always open, because in some of the talks, I always believe we should have the questions first and then the talk. Or maybe we should say something and then wait for you to reflect and then have some questions. So let me see, I will start. But in any case, if you have any questions, just stop me and then maybe we can take some questions. But like I said, I will also take the liberty of talking for about 15-20 minutes like my previous people did, because I don't want to not use the time. Yeah, so I will also take, and also I know that you will not be with me for more than about 8-10 minutes. Our retention span is very bad, and especially on a Saturday evening when the rest of the world has forgotten COVID and has gone for a round in some shopping malls, just window shopping or anything. We are all sitting here to learn leadership lessons. Yeah. What I want to tell you is, if definitely you have decided to invest your time on a Saturday evening, and am I with you? I'm also having some internet issues. So at home, there is a shift happening from Airtel to Jio. So please tolerate me if there is a if there is a gap, I'll definitely connect back on the next available internet. Okay, so there may be some issues. I've told them next half an hour not to disturb me, but I don't know if they will listen to me. Only students in the college will listen to me because of my position, not at home. Sam sir, what do you think? Because my son always tells me, don't dean me at home. So don't tell me not to do this and not to do that. So anyways, what I was trying to tell you is if on a Saturday evening, that's where I got disconnected. If we've decided to come together, be together, and then partake in this event, the first lesson of leadership is a lesson well learned. And that's a lesson of a passion and a purpose. These two twin words are very close to my heart. And I always thought, be it in any sphere, be it in any position, be it in any task we are doing, student, teacher, family, two things which affect what we do will have a direct impact is our passion and the purpose. So I think you have passion and you have a purpose to come together. And it was so soothing to hear your experience and your learning curve and your learning graph on how you have moved from where you were to what you're doing. Aisha, you were very, very impressive. And I must say, Shashwat, very candid. You said what you wanted to say. I purposely switched off my video for some time. You must be wondering why I did not want to heed to your request. Switch on the camera. I didn't want to intimidate you. Some of you know me, some of you do not know me earlier, but I didn't want to intimidate you and say, there's a dean listening, so let me not talk about online classes, let me not talk about this. I didn't want to intimidate you, so I thought I will go off camera. Mehak, you were great. You were great in, the kind of flow of thought. I'm trying to, evaluate, as a teacher, that's what we do. We want to try and see who is good at what. And this is only to give you a feedback to say what more you can do. And I'm sure of all the 40, 50 present here, each one of us can do this. Each one of us. And I always believe God does not create junk, and we are all capable of doing something extraordinary, really extraordinary. And how you do it is do things very, very differently. And I'm sure you all have the capacity, you have the training, and at my times, I'm sure we did not have opportunities as this. I am a hardcore Christite bleeding blue. The first time I came into the Christ College gate was in the year 1991. Don't count my age. Okay. 1991. As a young, frail, 15-and-a-half-year-old PU student. I was just like any other, very timid, weak, very frail, very, very vulnerable. And I didn't even want to look up. Those days we were trained at home not to look up. And when men are around, boys are around, put your head down and walk. I don't have to tell you more about it because you definitely would know the kind of what do I say, conditioning we had. I don't want to say culture, I don't want to say upbringing, but that was how it was. So I walked in, was a student for 7 continuous years. I did my PU, I did my BCom, then I did my MBA, and then found a placement, went out. 2 years, was in the industry. Then I said, no, teaching is my job and I want to go back. And ever since I've been in Christ, I think 21 years completed. So that's the kind of, I'm telling you, the longest, I'm sure in this crowd, the longest of who has seen Christ evolve. What I'm trying to say is you have immense opportunities, what we did not have. And I'm so happy to see all of you. I always admire young people who take leadership roles and take command of a whole lot of activities with zest and with which they perfect it, be it association activities, be it a leadership chair event, be it a student council, be it CSA. My heart always goes out to them, and having been at the university for a longer time, I've held various positions, in charge of associations, in charge of student council, and blah, blah, blah. That's fine. I mean, so I'm saying you always energize me. Young people always energize me. And then I want to compete with all of you and say, if you can do it, I can do it. That's the kind of motivation I get looking at all of you. So I was wondering if all of you got about half an hour to speak and not 15 minutes, because there was so much coming out, and that is really important for us to know on how we have taken care and developed all of you. It's not growth, but it is development. Growth is last year I was age N, next year I'm N+1. It is a natural phenomena, but how much have you developed? And that's something which is, but I always feel as teachers, we often think, that we are the architects of universities' culture and we are those who do it. But I'm a little different, and I want to say how you have the influence and impact on students, student leaders, how you have, it's sometimes I feel it is underestimated, the kind of influence and impact you will have on your own community, on the students community. There is something, I feel there is an incredibly powerful pure influence. And when Aisha was talking to her class, or when Shashwat was talking to her class, or when Mehak did that to her group, students will listen to an extent that this year, I'm sure Mr. Sam and Ms. Rashi will know that we changed the orientation pattern. And we said students will orient the students. First year, engage the third year students to do the, is my voice very feeble? Can you hear me well? Yeah, because I got a comment on the chat which said voice is feeble. Anyways, I'm trying to talk loud. Thank you. So I'm saying we changed the pattern. Why we changed the pattern? I was in the committee to, discuss and debate about the change in orientation pattern, because I strongly believe you are the change makers. When I go to a class and say, look, this is what the class should do, they will say this is just another. But when you go and tell them, look, juniors, or look, comrades, or look, friends, peers, folks, I think they will give you a patient hearing. And that's the power which I'm talking about, and you need not have an age for leadership. You can do it anytime. I'm sure a 3-year-old, 4-year-old kindergarten student going to a class can impress upon the teacher that I will take care of my friend. Yeah, who's sitting in the first bench. You don't have to worry. You can go on your 10 minutes lunch break and come. I will take care of my friend. This happens. So I'm saying there is no age as such, but then you just have to believe. Personal stories, you can't contest personal stories, so maybe I will quickly get into that and say, in all my years, whatever, I've had a lot of hits and misses. It's not that we were all just born or maybe just got into this role, but we've had all our, the good times, the bad times of leadership and having positions here and there. But something which I always thought, earlier, like I said, in your age, I was very quiet and introverted, very shy. I completely empathize with Shashwat when he started talking about how he felt when he was in the first year class. I mean, all of us would have gone through that. It is very rare for somebody to come and say, yes, I will take the blow. Come on, shoot. I mean, we all start very, very timid and all that, but it is in how quickly you get over that. It is how quickly you want to transform. So I was also not very confident, and I really did not know if I can even stand up and talk. I really did not know. Even when my friends told, no, Jyoti, I think you can do it. I'm like, the regular immediate, what is the immediate response? No, sorry, don't ask me to talk. No, I don't think I can do it, because you're not confident. But how I evolved is I made a conscious attempt and said, let's work towards it. Which means Leaders are also made, not just born. So in this gathering, I'm sure some of us by nature will have some leadership qualities, but for the others, we can get trained. If you think that you can't get trained, we know we don't need associations like this. We don't need gatherings like this. If everybody thinks that it should come naturally, it should come naturally. It doesn't. It is a lot of effort. So, what I think I have done is what I want to share with you. And some of you would already be doing it, but just to reiterate things, yeah. Connecting with people, something which is very important. The minute you think that second years are not somebody whom I want to talk to, I'm a first year student. Or third years, no, 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 don't talk to the third years. They are connecting with people at your level, connecting with people outside of your, student kind of a relationship. All that will enhance or maybe give you a new learning. Hesitation will be there. Some of them may think what the other person will think if I go strike a conversation, etc. But don't worry. The more you meet people, the more you learn the diversity, the kind of challenges that comes. And remember, in a gathering, make your presence felt. When you network, when you meet people, make your presence felt. Prepare and go. There's no substitution to preparations. So you prepare. You say, yes, I'm going to meet somebody. How do I create, that cliche maybe, but to say the first impression, don't worry about the best impression. Don't worry about the second half of that statement. Create the first impression for which you work hard. And then you need to be counted and you need to count them also. Take them into confidence. So this is something which I practiced simply in the corridor, walk around and then smile. I'm telling you what I did when I was a 16-year-old. Smile. When I chose to go to a college which had both boys and girls, my sister, who is 2 years elder to me, had decided to go to an all-girls school and college. I said, no, I want to be different. And thank God for giving me the best set of parents, and they said, do what you want to do. You want to go to Christ? And if you read literature, you will know what 1980s and 1990s Christ was. It was not a place to go to. If you didn't get admission anywhere, go to Christ. That was the situation in 1990. But today, things have changed. We've evolved. So those days, dare do it and then say, yes, I want to do it. So what I did was, as I walked in the corridor, I would smile at people. And that smile, you know how important it is and what it can do. Very meaningfully smile and say, yes, I want to talk to you. Twice you do that, third time maybe they will stop by to talk to you. Building networks, you don't even have to say so many things. And that's something which is a life's lesson. Carry that smile. Carry that smile because people will know that you are somebody whom they can kind of start conversing with, or maybe build a kind of a relationship. Audacious gestures will definitely not take you places, isn't it? So I'm saying how I got, and then I said that's how I built confidence. And you will not believe me, I would do mirror exercise to know how to smile well. How to smile well and not come across like smirking, not come across like somebody who's just making fun. Interpretations. So I'm saying to build a relationship, you prepare. Even if you have to strike a conversation, prepare. From there, I know age also has taken me into a different kind of a pedestal, but I'm saying that is something which is important. The next thing I did was I trained my mind. I trained my mind to say, you are confident. I always said, you are confident. Jyoti, you are confident. You can do it. It was in my batch, the first time Christ College then, okay, Christ College had Students Association of Fest. If you have BCom students here, you will resonate with Prayas, and it was my batch which started. Prayas. That is a commerce association. So I'm just giving you an example of how things, from where we are to where we are is definitely through some kind of a training. Some of us are blessed, it comes naturally, but for most of us, it has to come with practice. So in an environment, in a student life, it is always important that we understand that we have to practice, and only then it will come. It comes naturally good for us. And in our journey, remember, next two things very important: humility and respect. Be it any age. I always want to tell new mothers, new mothers who just had babies and they're raising their children. I don't have anything against them pampering the children. I would have done it to my child. My son now is 20 years old. But I'm saying I would have done it. But what I tell them is, let the child take responsibility at that age, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, etc. Because that's what you see them when they're 15 or 20. What do we do when a child who is 2 years, 3 years is running, falling down? What do? We quickly pick up the child and then we start beating the bench, the chair, the things, the neighbor. It's because of you, my child fell. I mean, to make the child stop crying. What do we do? You must have seen that, isn't it? Immediately, what do the parents do? Hit the wall and say, "Oh, because of you, my child fell." What is this child doing? This child is unconsciously thinking, "I'm not responsible, it is somebody else." And way in the future, the child is also doing that. Who did that? No, it's not me, it is my teammate. Why was this not done? I have done my bit, the other person has not done this. Teamwork, I did it, not we. You see how the mind trains, So this is something which is important, to take responsibility of what we have done or what we are doing. Leaders are those who take responsibilities and don't shirk. And in the journey, I said, be very humble, respect anything that comes your way, because there is no substitution to that either. So in my growing up ages, I've always ensured that come what may, these two things are very close to my heart: being humble, grounded. Leadership requires that. Leadership requires that, to be grounded. It is not that because I've been given positions, because I am a part of an association, I do something. No, I'm grounded. I'm humbled. I am taking care of people. That should be the attitude which I thought I should practice. And whoever comes in close contact to me, be it my students, my family, my children, my nephews, niece, this is what I tell them to practice, because that is what will take you a long way in your leadership journey, whichever form. You're talking about the students' union, you're talking about a committee, wherever, practice this, because negotiations can happen if you have these two people. Randomly, what is coming to my mind next is, what else have I done in my leadership journey, maybe as a student or as a teacher, whatever I do. Very, very recklessly, shamelessly say, I don't know. If I don't know, so what? That's another thing which I think is very important. Learning to say, I don't know. Not many of us want to do it, because we say, I know. What's the first thing you say? I know. I know. But if there is anything you don't know, what is the shame in saying, I don't know? No shame. It is like our 2 feet. The front has no fame, the back has no shame, because it will keep changing and turns. When I am front footed, why should the back foot have shame? Because the next turn, back foot is a front foot. You understand? So there is nothing wrong in saying, I don't know. And one attitude which I think is good to carry is, I know one thing, I know nothing. So I'm open to whatever you want to say. I will learn it. If there is a reason to relearn, learn it. If there is a reason to reorient, get reoriented. I don't know. I don't believe much in unlearning because there is nothing you can unlearn. You can relearn. You can learn something new. There is this unlearning. What is unlearning? I know something and can I say, forget it, forget it, forget it? I can't. Keep it. If you don't want to use it, don't use it, but you can relearn. So this leadership journey also requires you to kind of, go all over and then relearn, learn new things. It's very important. It's important that I'm always open, agile, to change, to look at what you can do newly. At the BGR campus, some of my kids are here. I'm happy to tell you that this is the 6th academic year in the BGR campus. And when we moved into the BGR campus, one thing I told my team is, look, we have to do something new every year. And that was the agenda. The 1-point agenda, change. Do one new thing every year, be it introduce common core courses, be it change the methodology of holistic education, be it having some kind of an online open electives, something that is to break monotony. Leaders. So I'm saying one thing very important is always look for newer ways of doing in our journey, be it even in our scheduling. You're all, I'm sure, average age, I'm guessing, is about 20, 21. You have your things to do. After some time, make a change. See how differently. I just enjoyed how Shashwat came up and said, I don't know how to do this, but you listen to me. Hats off to you. Incredible. Incredible. This is what I said, learn to say, I don't know. And the kind of respect you will have for that is amazing. Nobody can, kind of tell you anything because I told you I don't know, so what? And that's a brilliant attitude. So always remember, make changes. If you don't know, learn it. If you think you should go for some practice sessions, go ahead and do it. While I'm saying this, I remember reading, me if I'm wrong, if somebody thinks that the sentence I'm calling is not correct. Jack Welch, I think, said, if the rate of change on the outside exceeds the rate of change inside, that means your end is near. I think that's the correct way of saying it. I've got it right, I think. I repeat, if the rate of change on the outside exceeds the rate of change on the inside, the end is near, which means you need to change with what is changing outside. The rate of change outside and the rate of change inside should be parallel. Only then you will survive. So that's a change I'm talking about. Always innovate, always make changes. Change the way you do. Shiv Khera said, winners don't do different things. They do things differently. Do it differently. Do it how you want to do it. Make that kind of a change. Do that kind of a innovation, or maybe turn around the situation for somebody. Swami Vivekananda once said, as one man, I cannot change the world, but I can change the world for one man. I repeat, as one man, I cannot change the world, but I can change the world for one man. See how much change you can bring about. These are things as leaders, young or middle-aged, or sophomores or seniors. Leadership is all about creating that kind of a change within yourself, change to the situation, and always constantly work to innovate and make things better. Make things better. And like I in the initial phase said, leaders are those who multiply leaders. So bring along. I am somebody in a class who want to do this. This year, that is the agenda I have given to most of the student leaders in the campus. And I said, you will ensure that you will assure at least 50% of your classmates participate in some event or the other by the end of the academic year. and not say the festers will go festing, the association will go the way, only few students will do. No. Leaders multiply leaders. It's your responsibility. Take the group along, motivate the class, get them together, make them work. Tell them that they should at least come once on stage, participate in something, showcase their talents. And who will do it is you friends, motivate them. So that's the responsibility of all of you, whether you belong to the Kenneth Leadership Chair or whether you belong to a class student council or whether you're an association, you're always wanting to, make changes and make things better. You have to ensure that, I liked when Aisha said, I'm already in the second year and I have another year to go and I have so much I want to do. It's so soothing. And I'm really impressed that, time is irreversible. I can't say this at the end of the third year and say I had so much to do and I did not do and cry. I can't reverse it. But when I know in between that I have this much time and I have an agenda, I have these many things to do and I do it, make the best use of the time. So that's something which is very, very important. I think I'm going on and on and on. I'm respecting all your time. I want to pause because I want to take more questions. Definitely, all of you here, I'm sure, will come out in flying colors, and you have that capacity. You have that ability which either you have identified or somebody has identified and put you there. I'm also thinking some of you are here because your friends are here. Some of you have joined this because my friend said, look, I'm going to be a part of Praveen Kenneth Chair. Do you want to come? The other person said, no, please come, please come. And you brought them here. Some of them wouldn't have come at all, but then you chose to be here. You chose to be here, but because your friend said, no, you did not go back. And that's smartness. Because all these things happen. My friend said, don't go, so I'm interested. I will not go. Still, because my friend is not coming. I mean, we are living in a world full of challenges that we carve our niche. We decide what we want to do. Friends, very important. Bring them also. Don't go back. Bring them also. I think that's the power of leadership. And I'm sure associations like this will definitely empower you and you will be enabled to think very, very strategically, the entire viewpoint will change. The kind of vision I have because I'm in an association will change. The kind of guts and gumptions I will get will change. The kind of ways of thinking will change. Everything will change because, like I said, you have a passion, you have purpose, you are in a structured environment, you get motivated and inspired by people, and then a whole lot of things can change. Before I stop, I want to tell you a small story. I know everybody likes story, but I don't know if Saturday evening is a good time for story. So a big story, I will cut it short. But like any rules of the story remains, you will not ask me questions on the story because it's a story. No questions on the story. It seems there was this one very small, when I say baby mosquito, obviously babies are small. This baby mosquito who wanted to go out on its first flying experience. Just like any other father would worry, the father mosquito was worried whether to send this baby mosquito on a first flight because the father mosquito was worried whether this baby mosquito will come back. You know what happens, isn't it? But then this baby mosquito was very, very insistent and said, I have to go on my first flying experience. So with great sadness and hesitation, the father mosquito says, go, take care, come back safe. A day, 1.5 days, you know what the average lifespan of a mosquito is. So 1.5 days, 2 days, the baby mosquito comes back. The father mosquito was extremely happy and said, wow, you have come back. How did you like your first flying experience? To that, the baby mosquito said, wow, Dad, do you know what? when I was flying, everybody out there were clapping for me. And when people were clapping, I got motivated. I started flying higher and higher and higher when people started clapping for me. And I had no looking back. So I flew high and high and high, and I got thoroughly excited. And now I'm back. End of the story. Little mosquito did not know why were we clapping. Little mosquito did not know that we did not like him, and that's why we were clapping. But the mosquito thought that the clapping was encouragement. My dear friends, the story is to say, be encouraged. Encouraged at all adversities. Come what may, don't worry about what others are thinking of you. Convert it into an opportunity. Be like that baby mosquito. Get encouraged. There may be a lot of things which will come your way. I challenge you. I promise you, you will be able to get over all that. Just if you make your own changes to how you think, how you want to perceive, how you want to take that positive or negative. Nobody has a time in this world to think about anything about you because they are busy thinking about themselves. So why should you worry? Think about what you want to do. Have a clear vision. Go in full spirit. Take all those suggestions which are good for you. Take all those recommendations which are good for you. Don't worry about what if I do this, what others will think. Nobody has a time. Believe me, nobody has a time. Sometimes you will observe that you have met somebody, but you come back home and you would have forgotten what they were wearing. Have you come across some situations like that? You would have spent 10 hours together. Okay, I forgot what jewelry she was wearing or what dress, because your concentration was on the discussion. Or what you see is what you want to see only, nothing else. You see what you want to see. That's something which is a simple example of what people do not have time for. So go ahead, do your best, and I'm sure the best will come to you. Signing off, and I'm open for questions. Thank you.
Okay, before the questions, ma'am, I want to say thank you. Oh, honestly, generally, I don't write notes, ma'am. Even in class, it's a rarity when I write notes. So I was writing notes today when you were talking. I was like, oh yeah, I was like, okay, I do this, I don't do this. I was thinking what I do and what I don't do. So for me, it was great. I really liked it, especially when you were talking about leadership through storytelling and leadership enforced by your kids of the same generation. I really connected on that point, mom, and I really liked it. I wanted to
Thank
say
you.
that.
Pleasure. I can take any questions, or if you want to come in an order of all our speakers, maybe, or anything.
Yes, mom. But before that, guys, one small announcement. We'll do the announcement and then we can go straight to the Q&A. Vanshika, are you up for it?
Yes, so I think many of you are waiting for that little thing. On first day of our event, we had Christ Got Talent, and out of so many students who performed for us, we have a few winners who we are going to announce now. So, Naveen, could you present? Yes. So our very
Guys,
first
come on,
winner
come on, come
is
on, come on.
Akshay
Be excited,
Chandra,
people.
who was drumming. Congratulations to you, Akshay. Uh, can we go to the next slide? Yes, our second winner is Anne Joanna Sam, who sang a song for us, and it was beautiful. Congratulations to you, Anne Joanna. Next, our winner is Nandini Pawa, who also sang a beautiful song for all of us. Congratulations, Nandini. Mm, Next, we have Pulkit Chawda, who did a magic for us and did speed cubing. Congratulations, Pulkit. Next, we have Achint Marwa, who did a beautiful poetry for us. She recited a beautiful poem for all of us. Congratulations, Achint. Yes, these were some of our winners from the first day. Congratulations to all the winners. Okay. Uh, we had wonderful 3 days of our event. First day was Christ Got Talent. Second day was Swirl Words, where we did tickle everyone's brains with word gaming. Third day we had Perfectly Imperfect, where we tested everyone's knowledge with movies and their leadership attributes which they know about it. So we would like to share some of the pictures with you. This is the first day the Christ Got Talent event picture where everyone came and displayed their talents and entertained all of us. Next picture. Naveen, can you move to the next picture?
I think he's stuck.
Oh yeah. This is a picture from the second day where we tickle everyone's brains with a crossword puzzles. World Words was the name of our event. Everyone played crossword puzzles and they enjoyed it. Where we had breakout sessions and everyone got to interact with a lot of more people. Can we move on to the next? To kindly switch on the cameras so that we can click a picture for the fourth day as well, and we can keep it as a memory and share it with everyone. Please, everyone, switch on your
Yeah, come on,
cameras. It
people.
would be lovely to see all your faces and enjoy with all of you.
Obviously, people. Pictures are the only memories you're going to have of this event.
Sudhakar, do a countdown. That's always works.
Yes, yes, why not? Guys,
Okay,
again,
Sudhakar, your audio is breaking.
breaking. Acha.
It's fine now.
Okay, am I audible now?
Yeah.
Please then. Okay, I'll wait. I'll be the last person to switch on my video. Guys, here, hello. I can see still a lot of you not switching on your cameras. Don't follow me over here. Just 5 seconds. I'm giving you 5 seconds right over here. With the countdown of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, your camera should be on. Okay. So 5, tick tick 4, tick tick 3. Guys, quick. I'm still waiting for all of you. Guys. Tick tick 2.
Guys, it really doesn't matter how you guys look. You might be in your pajamas, sleeping. It doesn't matter. Just switch on.
Oh
We
my
want.
God, yes, please.
That's it.
Tick tick 1 and 0. Okay, I'll also switch on.
Sai Pavan, Ayush, Akhila, Navanishwar. Guys, switch on. Wow, people are getting really conscious. Don't worry. Once you guys come to Praveen Kenneth chair, you'll know how it is to just wake up and go into one meeting.
Also think that being in this team, being a part of the leadership chair, if you don't switch on your video, then there is no purpose, isn't it? The purpose is not there. So if you're here, like I think one of you said, doesn't really matter what is your background, where you are. You're just here to participate. Okay?
So I think one or two people might be having problems,
Yes.
like Angela.
Should be. Yeah.
Okay, it's okay. Okay, people, everybody, put on your best faces, be most
we'll
excited
go in.
faces, and let's take a picture.
Yes, so let's go in 3, 2, 1, and cheese. Perfect, guys. Thank you so
Wait,
much.
people, we need an unofficial picture also.
Okay,
Come on,
make
people,
the
do your
weirdest,
crazy posing.
the weirdest pose you can make, the weirdest face expression you can make.
Shashwat is on point. Yay! Also, people, do fill out the feedback form. It's on the chat box. Do fill it out. We really want to know what your feedback is. And now let's skip to the Q&A session. Ashika, do you want to take up a few questions or do you want me to go?
Just a little thing before that. We respect each and everyone's time. I know we had promised from 5 to 6:30 and the time has extended beyond that. So we respect each and everyone's time. If you do have time, please stay back and join us in the Q&A session. And if you are busy and have some little urgent work, you are free to leave. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. It was a pleasure to have all the four speakers speak for us today. We thoroughly enjoyed the session today. Thank you, Aisha. Thank you, Shashwat. Thank you, Mehek. And most importantly, thank you so much, ma'am. We really enjoyed having you here today. And we are very delighted to have you. Thank you so much, ma'am.
And
My
also,
pleasure.
cannot
Thank you.
forget, we have to thank all of our PKCL members.
Yes.
And also, most importantly, we want to thank our chief mentor, Tony George sir, and our program trainer, Sam sir, and our trainer, Miss Rashi ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, sir, for this opportunity. We had a blast doing this, and I hope the audience had huge time doing it.
And yes, thank you to each and everyone who helped us plan this event. All our extravaganza hub members, all our planning committee members, all our PKCLite who helped us. And thank you, sir and ma'am, for giving us this opportunity to do the event. And thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay, now let's do the question answers. There are a lot of questions that have come into my DM. Okay, guys, just to stay thoda sa on time, we'll do 2 or 3 questions and we'll end it there. Okay? Okay, first one goes here. Ma'am, one of the audience member has put up a question. What are your thoughts on competition among team members? Do you think it's healthy and necessary?
I always think that competition is good. Competition in the good spirits. There is nothing wrong about competing because that's something which is important for our growth. If there is no competition, then we all get very complacent. But one thing is knowing a clear difference between being jealous and being envious. It's good to be envious. And that's something which will charge you. That's something which will motivate you. Your rankings, your gradings, all those are competitions. I mean, I get a rank 2, somebody gets a rank 1. I mean, there's nothing wrong in that. But what it should do is it should give you some kind of a professionalism while you do that. That's something important. And there's nothing personal there. As a student, I have done that. You know, if somebody gets 1 mark more than me, be it my best of the friend, I get very upset. That doesn't mean that I strike off him or her from my besties list and say, I will not talk to you because you got 1 mark more than me. But I work hard to see to it that I get 2 marks more maybe in another exam. So I'm saying it could be anything, but that kind of a competition is good. And it is nothing to prove one better than the other, but for your personal growth. So I feel there's nothing wrong in competition.
Fair enough, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, our next question is disagreements are common while working in a team. How can one be more accommodating of other people's suggestions?
Is that question to me?
Yes, ma'am. It's a question.
Disagreements are the heart of any new solutions. That's what I believe, because I always want to believe differences make us grow. What will deteriorate us is indifference. I repeat, differences are good, disagreements are good. That is what will give you out of the box thinkings or revolutionary thinkings and radical thinkings, etc. But being indifferent and not saying anything, there is no growth. Some people do that, isn't it? Why say something? Keep quiet. So that is indifferent. But when you voice it, when you say what your heart is thinking, when you talk it out, you have more debates and discussions. That's brainstorming. Brainstorming is not always, nice, rosy, positive. Okay, you say that I agree, you say that I agree. No. Let there be disagreements. Let there be positive disagreements, in terms of, okay, at one point in time, fine, I think you're right, should be the conclusion. I mean, that's where the growth is. So disagreements are good. That's not a negative word at all for me.
Mom, looks like you really enjoy our Friday meets, ma'am.
Why not?
We disagree a lot, ma'am, on a lot of stuff. We do a lot of debating in our Friday meets. I think you would really enjoy it.
Please call me once. I would like to be a observer.
Definitely, ma'am. We'll put you up in the hot seat and make you an active participant also. Vanshika?
Yes, ma'am, the next question we have is like any 5 advices to always keep in mind, like from all the years that you have experienced in Christ and all the years that you have worked, any most 5 important things that we should always keep in mind?
Okay, I don't know if I will be giving you anything in any set order or I will restrict it to 5. There could be many, but I will just go some, rapid fire. First thing, go by principles. Go by your principles. What is it that you stand for? At any cost, do not go back on your values. You may win, you may lose, but do not go back on your values. There is no shortcut to success. Believe me, I may practice one or two little bit here and there, but that will not take me long. Second thing is be genuine. Be genuine. When I say genuine, it could be honest, it could be something which you feel for. Don't fake it. Don't fake it. Third, be committed. Committed. I mean, I've taken up some job, do it. I don't want to talk about loyalty here. I'm only restricting it to committee because each of our versions of loyalty is different. But be committed. Always remember to finish tasks on time. On time. Because your assessment is how you finish your task and when you finish your task. If you delay it, nobody will take you seriously. Whether it is writing an assignment, whether it is coming for meetings punctually, whatever, believe in what you want to do and finish it on time. That's something which is important. Have good interpersonal relationships. Interpersonal relationship. You never know who will come of use and help somewhere. Don't hurt anybody. You can have disagreements. I'm very, very for disagreements. I am to, kind of bring the entire proposal down, push it, and then say reconstruct. But remember, you can have disagreements, but at the end of it, you should be able to shake hands and say, yes, it was a good meeting. We will meet tomorrow. That's something, concern for people. That's another thing which is important. You may do the task, you may not do the task, but always remember people are very important in our growth. And that's also a part of our interpersonal relationship. I'm always, at the campus now because of pandemic, we've not met. Some of you may not know, but an extra disciplinarian. And that is also for a reason. So discipline is another thing. So you can have many, many more things. Like I said, not in any particular order, but these are some of the things which randomly came to my mind, which means I think those are very important. carry it along. And other things I think I have mentioned in the talk when I was saying humility, have respect.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you very
ma'am.
much.
We will definitely keep these advices in mind. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
ma'am. We even made a note of it, so that is definitely going into my book.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It was a pleasure talking to all of you.
Yes, ma'am. Likewise, we really had a blast with you here, ma'am. And we would really, really like to thank you for making time for us on a Saturday evening and sitting with us for the straight 2 hours almost. So yeah,
My heart is always with all of you. Anytime.
thank you.
Thank you. Wishing you all the very best. God bless all of you.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you
Thank
very
you.
much,
Dr.
ma'am.
Jyoti, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Guys, the meeting has now officially ended.